Jive5 Jeff from 2HacksGarage. Well, Kyle's underneath the car right now. He's removing the drive shaft loop, taking some measurements, kind of getting ready for our next steps. So as you guys saw yesterday, we took this car, we put it on the frame rack up at our buddy Eddie's shop up in Chicago. And what we ended up doing was, going through there and taking some measurements, which we were really thankful in that place. We did have the factory guidelines to go off of for body shops and everything like that. So once again, if you refer to another video, any information, data books, Chilton manuals, anything from the factory on that is really key when you're working on these old cars. But one of the things that we found on there was actually a kink that was up in here that was causing some issues along with the back. This axle was actually kicked over a little bit and there was some damage up in here. But when the experts up there started measuring, what they were able to find was the body was kind of just kicked a little bit completely. So they put it on the frame machine, took a whole bunch of measurements, and they got everything worked out. Before we went up there though, because the way the body was sitting, we went ahead and we had replaced all the body mounts on this. They were really bad. The original ones were absolutely shot and in some cases just falling apart. So what we did was we replaced them all, took it up there so it was sitting where they needed to be, got everything stretched out. And after doing that, checking them out, you can definitely tell stuff had shifted. Body panel alignment and stuff like that is now off. At some point, when this car had quarters replaced and all that, you could see where the body work was done. They did a really good job on it, but it's almost like they built the body work around where the actual kinks in the frame were. So they had lined up all the body panels and all that after it had been, fixed and all that, but the frame was still off. So now that the frame is straight and we got it back, we're going through this thing, and Eddie, our good friend, who's a really good paint and body guy, he's going to end up helping us go through this thing, get all the body panels lined up, make sure the hood comes down correctly, the nose, you name it. So it's straight, doors open, and it's the way it was meant to be from the factory. So with that, one of the next steps after that, Kyle did order up a nice big heavy-duty cross member. So after everything is in there, we know where it's at. This thing's going to go in there. It's going to hold the transmission in place. Because what we ended up doing with this car is the 68 to 72 GMA bodies, the frames aren't actually boxed. The only ones that are boxed are the convertibles. So we went ahead and boxed that frame to make it a lot more rigid. Well, with that, you end up taking out the factory cross member that sits in this channel. We can no longer use that. So we got a big heavy duty one in place. Kyle did get the good poly bushing to hold it in there. He's got a big heavy foot. This thing's got a bunch of torque going through it. So in order to keep things together, that's going to be pretty much exactly where we need to be at. So just kind of update, next steps are get the body panels lined up, which we are going to make a video on that and kind of detail that actual build. Get this cross member in there, start making adjustments to the rear end, get that all in there. We have a bunch of stuff we took off this car, including part of the fuel system. We took out the exhaust, and so we need to get a whole bunch of stuff put back together on this because the big green machine makes a lot of power. These little tires here, well, they're just going to go up in smoke, which will make awesome videos, which you guys will definitely see, but at the same time, if this thing was to drag race, we're just going to sit there and just spin and spin and spin. So all this work is going to go into place to measure the wheels out, get the tires on there to really get this thing to hook. Then after that, it's kind of going through, fine-tuning this thing, getting it where it needs to be. Larry T. Bird, haven't done anything on that lately. I ordered up some more parts for it. I got a cam ordered up. It's a Howard's Big Daddy Rattler. Pretty good cam. I'll get you the specs on that soon. Ordered up a couple other more parts for it. But right now, the block is at the machine shop. It's getting taken 30 over. It's getting decked, hot tanked, all of that ready to go. So once that's done, the crank's got to be balanced. So there is going to be a little bit of time on that for some more videos. But we are going to do an engine build on that, building that 521 short block, and kind of go through the different steps taking place with that. I do have everything right now to do the rest of the brakes. My axles are ready with the new bearings on it. So Kyle and I'll probably make a video in the next week or so, kind of going over what we're doing with that. detailed the whole brake system and stuff like that. That car, I found out, is extremely hard to find headers for. In fact, they didn't make them. I did find a guy online that does make headers for that platform, that design, everything. So I went ahead and ordered those. They were pretty expensive, but it's going to be worth it. One of the things with that is, though, just like with everything else, it's time. Money's one thing, but time's another. Those headers are going to be probably 10 to 12 weeks out. So in the meantime, I do have time to get more parts like heads, intake, everything like that. So you're going to be seeing a lot more videos on this car, the Vanishing Point motorcycle, engine building, body panel fitment. So there is a lot more to come on that. So for right now, we're going to get working on some things on this, go from there. See you soon.
Two Hacks Garage coming at you again. Quick update on the GTO. We talked to our friend Eddie, and he gave us some hints and tips where to really start with this. And it goes back to the adjustments we did on the frame yesterday. And because we have found some spots where the body has shifted, which should be expected, we need to really start with having proper alignment of the body back to the frame before we go on to anything else. So with that, we are starting with get the hood off, and we're also going to get the nose piece off here. Currently, we have the bumper off the back. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is off. The tail lights are just kind of dangling back there, so all the wiring is loose. Next steps, we will, like I say, get the nose off, get the front clip off, the fenders here. At that point, we'll be able to take the body, which all body mounts are loose now. I can't remember if there's, 16 of them, roughly. We'll be able to then adjust the body. At that point, what we'll do is kind of get it where we think, maybe set the front, get it maybe squared on the body mount bushing holes, and then try to do the same, maybe snug it, take some measurements to a consistent point to see if they're where we want it within a whatever specified range, maybe snug that down. Move to the back, do the same thing, take a measurement, see if we're where we want it, and then come back to the front. So it will be a bit of a process, but this will ensure that we hopefully get it back to maybe even better than factory, just knowing that things, how they were a little loose on their specs back in the day. So maybe we can even improve upon how it was originally done. That's it today for 2 Hacks Garage. Until next time, thank you.